Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Val's Corner. I'm your host Valerie Bropleh, and you're having corner conversations with Val. So guys, today episode I feel like it's gonna be shorter. I know I say that for many other episodes, but no, this one's I feel like it's actually gonna be shorter because the topic God put on my heart is something I'm actually currently going through and learning and growing with and like figuring out with myself. So the fact that God wanted me to talk about it was like it threw me for a loop when I was like trying to figure out what topics to talk about. I know in the beginning of my episode, well, podcast, a couple episodes before, I mentioned that the only topics I want to talk about are ones I've already overcome. So this one is it's different for me because I'm currently going through it, still figuring it out and learning. But today's topic, we're talking about the waiting season and what that looks like for me currently. I feel like compared to all the other seasons I've gone through, this one's a little bit challenging because I'm waiting for multiple things. It's not just one thing I'm waiting for. So I'm still learning and growing and trying to be patient with God because I feel like as Christians, at one point in our walk, we're always waiting on God. We're always waiting for something, maybe a blessing, a prophecy God spoke over our life. I feel like we're always waiting, and the waiting looks different for everybody. And for me, this season looks different because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the most patient person. Like, um, that I would like to be. So like when it comes to like waiting on my blessing for God, like I'm very impatient and sometimes I try to rush the process, which God has God actually had to humble me and be like, ma'am, slow down. It's my timing and not yours. And I did not like how he did that because it was like a wake up call. I was like, oh shoot. But the one thing that's been helping me, it's like learning from other people, watching sermons and things like that. And I'm also actually doing this Bible plan that I found in the Bible apps, which is really actually good. It's a short plan. It's called Wait and See, Finding Peace in God's Pauses and Plans. It's actually a really good plan. And I've been doing it recently and it's been helping me because in the beginning it starts with like misconceptions when it comes to waiting, and it's kind of crazy because I've had all these misconceptions. I've said these things. And for the first one, little spoiler, but it says when the wait begins, and it pretty much explaining what it looks like. And they have these three characters, well not characters, pretty much these three different people on the planet, and they each are waiting for something. One is a relationship, one is healing, and also financial. And what's crazy when I did this plan, I'm waiting for all three of those things. So each person has been helping me when it maybe like financial blessings. So it's like waiting waiting for to get an increase and things like that. So it talks about how each person is waiting, like what they're doing. Some people are praying and like continuing to ask God for these things, and some people lose their faith in the waiting. And I'm gonna be honest, like when I first started the season of my life, like I first it was like I was waiting for a job to get an increase because it started last year. And when I first like speaking the process, I was like I was irritable. I was annoyed. I felt like I was losing my faith in God, but like realistically, that's not true. Like, and also as humans, it's not losing faith in God if you keep asking. It's not. I don't know how to say it. It's like because you're asking for these things don't mean you don't believe God's not gonna do it. So for me, I started my financial increase waiting period last year, and God led me down this path that led me to this amazing job I had now. So it's like I was at this one job. I loved it. It was an overnight job. And I was there for almost like 3 years. But then the job started becoming like it toxic. Like I didn't feel like I was growing the company. And I was praying for God, I was like, what do you want me to do? And then I promise you, it was the strangest feelings. I just felt I was at the gym and I just felt like there was an incident that happened where I talked to my supervisor and something just didn't work out. And I just felt this peace that it didn't work out. Like I was like, I gotta quit. But like it wasn't like an alarming feeling. Like 'cause for for one, I didn't really have like another job lined up. I think I was like applying and things like that, but like I was waiting for God to like give me the okay to actually take it seriously. So when I was at the gym, I literally felt this like overwhelming peace. Like it's like I literally texted my friend Becca. And I was like, Becca, this makes no sense. Like, why am I so calm about quitting my job? Like, I'm about to quit my job. Like, for most people, that's not like something to be like calm about. Like, you're about to lose your sense of income, where your money is coming from, things like that. So it's like, for me to be calm, I was like, I was freaking out at the fact of how calm I was, if that makes sense. So I was like, why am I so calm? Like, Becca, this is not normal. Like, am I really about to quit my job? And I ended up quitting my job, and I felt that was God in that, because I felt peace, because I was struggling to figure out how like I was gonna get my money. So that started like a waveland, not a wave, not a waveland, a whole journey of me trying to like. I think in that season I'll call it my trust in God season, because I quit my job. I didn't have another job lined up, but then right after I quit my job, I got another job, and that one, I wasn't making as much money either. Like, it was like a baby step. I feel like God was testing my faith and seeing how far I would go with trusting Him. And then I got that job, but it wasn't working out, so I quit. And then I was applying to other jobs. And then there was this one job that I kid you not, I really wanted to do. I went to interview. They liked me. I was about to start. I about to have a start date, but I had to do my drug test. And then I got really sick, so I wasn't able to do my drug test. Like, they gave you like a week to do your drug test, and I wasn't able to do my drug test. So the job ended up falling through, and I was driving home from something, and I got the call. I was like, yeah, we can't go forward with you, and da da da. And I kid you not, like, I felt my heart break, because I really wanted the job and it sounded good and this and that. And it was like, I got sad because you lost something you really wanted. But I promise you, hand to God, God's my witness. I went home, I cried for a little bit, and then boom, I got back to it. I was like, okay, God, what's next? That one fell through. You have to have something better. So that was waiting, and God ended up having something much better for me. So it's like your denial is not your delay. So it's like, though I got rejected from that job, it wasn't for me. God had something better, and He did. Like, my job I am right now, amazing job. Pay is great. I love it. Like, the working hours is very convenient. I still make it to church. I'm not like missing anything. I can still have a life after, like, so that's what my increase looked like. I had to trust God to see if He can. Well, God had to give me tests to see if He can trust me with the new blessing, and because of my faithfulness, He was able to bless me. So that's what my financial waiting season looked like. There was times where I wanted to give up doing the job. I became unemployed for like, I think, 2 months. But even during my unemployment, I never lost my car. I didn't lose my car. It didn't get reborn, anything like that. I was home. I was still making my bills. I was still able to pay for food and things like that. And I had people in my corner to help me during that period. So it's like, God made sure I would never really truly lack. That I still had money to do things, even though being unemployed. Once again, God. I couldn't tell you how that happened, but God. So that was how my financial waiting season looked like. I got a couple of denies. There were times where I wanted to lose faith. I'm like, God, like, what's happening? But I didn't. I just kept going. And then now the other like healing and things like that. So I'm still waiting on that. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That during all this waiting season, you hear "Be still and know that I'm God." That's something I struggle with during this season, because it's like, I have to remind myself, just because it says "Be still" doesn't mean like you literally are not doing anything while you're waiting for God to bless you. You're actively working during that. So it's like, I call myself, I think it was I'm gonna be fully transparent with you guys, because that's what I said this podcast was gonna be. I don't want to sound I never want to sound like I'm perfect Christian. I got it all together, because I don't. So this week, I felt like I was on Wednesday actually, and Bible said it was. I feel like the my pastor was like speaking to me, because I honestly needed to recharge. He mentioned something like, sometimes we keep going, and then we don't recharge when it comes to like our relationship with God and things like that. And I felt like that was me, because I think I went 2 weeks without actively seeking God. Like, I was doing the bare minimal, and I was reading here and there, praying on my car ride, but I wasn't being more intentional with my time with God. So Wednesday, I felt, from the moment I woke up, I felt off. Like, I just felt like I didn't feel like me. So I was like, I put worship music on in my car going to work, because I have like a 45, almost an hour drive to work. So even during that period, I wasn't even able to worship, and I was like, what? Why am I stuck? Went the whole day feeling off at work. I was talking to my supervisor, like, are you guys gonna fire me? I feel like you guys are gonna fire me. Like I was anxious for no reason. Getting a Bible study and I was still off. It's like something was missing in my life and I couldn't pinpoint it until I left Bible study early, which I never do. So that's how you know it really wasn't me. And I got home and on my car ride, I was blasting gospel. And it's like, God, what's going on with me? Like, what's happening right now? Like, I feel off. I don't feel like Val. And in that period, because I have, once again, also have an hour drive home. And I feel like those are for some reason, those are my time with God. But I like to journal. So I wasn't making time to actually sit and journal and listen for God's voice. I was just doing it to say I did it. So in the car ride, I was actually being intentional. I had gospel music playing. I was just like God, what is happening to me? Why am I feeling off? And it was like he revealed to me like I wasn't spending time with him. I wasn't being intentional with my time with him. So I felt off spiritually. I felt like my discernment was off. I felt like I couldn't connect because I feel like my spirit for some reason left my body, which it didn't. But I just felt disconnected to God, and in doing that disconnect, I didn't feel like me. So on Wednesday, I really felt off, and it was because I wasn't being intentional on my time with God. So it's like during my when you're in your waiting season, don't just sit still and not see God. And like Pastor E, my pastor here on Wednesday, he was like, we need to be nagging God. Like a kid is nagging their parent for something. We need in our waiting, we need to nag God for what we want. Like keep being persistent, talking to him, telling him you want these things, having these crazy dreams and faith, but like actually asking God, like, God, when is this coming? You promised me this. So when is it like it's okay to nag God. So when Pastor said that, I was like, I actually gave me reassurance because I feel like I was being annoying to God, asking for the same thing. I was like, God, it's the same thing. Here I am, God. I'm asking for this. I'm asking for that. And it's like, so I eventually, subconsciously, I stopped asking because I wasn't seeing it when I wanted to. But when my pastor said that it's okay to nag God, like he wants us to nag him for the things he promised. And I was like, huh. So he doesn't ever want us to stop, which I love. Like that it was like confirmation for me because like it's okay to keep asking God for something that he promised you already. Even though it doesn't mean you're losing your faith, it just means you are persistent. God wants to be persistent. So it's like a light click. So while I'm going through this waiting season, like I told you guys at the beginning, I am learning new things every single day. And I'm growing while I'm waiting. So I think that's something I had to rewire my brain into like understanding while I'm waiting for God to do these things for me, maybe a relationship or like grow a friendship, my siblings' salvation, whatever it is that we are waiting personally for me, it's okay to keep asking God for it, and it's okay to have these misconceptions because the second doing this Bible plan, the second misconception it says conception um if I'm waiting, I must not have heard God correctly. And I think that's something I struggle with as well. I even wrote my journal. It's like I second guess if it was God speaking just because I haven't seen it happen. I'm still waiting. I need to learn to trust that everything He spoke over my life or said to me will happen. So it's like God give us these like prophecy things that are gonna happen, but also He doesn't give us a timeline or when that's gonna happen. So it's like sometimes because I'm not seeing it happening now or when I want, it's like was that really God? Like, or even if it's not a prophet speaking to you or someone ministering to you, even in your own private time, you hear God say something. It's like, what's that really God? Like, it doesn't make sense. One, it's not happening. I don't see it. It's been 2 years or something, and I've yet to see it. And I was like, so many people waited. So many people in the Bible waited so long for their blessings. Like, but when they did get it, they appreciated it because it was in God's time. So it's like, this is something I had to like get in my mind. It's like, God, his timing again is never ours. So God can have you waiting for a blessing for 5, 10. Sometimes it having quickly. I can't say the other word, the M word, but it hasn't quickly for some people. But some people it take years. Moses, before he was able to free those people, that man waited until he was in his old age. So it's like Abraham and Sarah. All these people waited. They didn't get the blessing when they wanted it or when they expected it, but they got it eventually. So it's like waiting to see how God form is like it's a beautiful thing, but it's also that's when the trust and patience comes in and like and they're literally waiting, like waiting, but like doing things while you're waiting. They're not just saying, "Oh, I want a baby." They're not doing things to try or whatever it was. they were seeking God every day, then it didn't mean they didn't there weren't times where they didn't struggle like God like was, or even doubted God, or question him sometimes. I feel like when it comes to faith, it's like when we think when it comes to like doubting God, I'm gonna speak for my. I feel like there were times when I like honestly I doubted God. I didn't think He was gonna like I would talk like God, like when is this happening? You said it was gonna happen, and I question Him. It's like I don't want to say it's okay to question God, but like how else are we supposed to learn if we're not questioning God? Like God, like did you really? And then He can come back and answer us. So it's like during my period, there were times where I doubted God, but I didn't lose faith. I still like and I don't want to say, I don't know how to say this. I still believe he was gonna do it, but sometimes I question like, when is this gonna happen? Like I knew God strength. I know what he's capable of, but in that moment, it's like, can he do it for me? Like I seen you work these miracles. I seen you do things. I've heard it and things like that. So it's like, can you do it for me? And I think that was my mindset. Like I see other people getting their blessings. I see God working miraculous ways and things like that. So like the way he's working, can he do it for me? And I have periods during the season where it's like, I hate to say it's, but like, when is it my turn? In a sense. So I'm relearning things a lot in this season. I'm learning from people surrounding me. One of our my church members slash friends did a teaching on the waiting, and teaching was actually really good. And then it taught me so much and what it means to wait, and um how waiting is an important thing as part of our journey. Like we're always put a weight on God, not also try to rush the process. Like 'cause I feel like sometimes in our human way, we try to rush God and try to do it our way because we're not seeing it in God's way. And sometimes it works out, but realistically, it's not what God intended. So it's not gonna be like fully. I feel like sometimes we're not fully able to enjoy the things when we try to do our human way, because God's way is always better. And I've seen God's way and I've tried my own way. The two aren't the same. So what I'll say, waiting isn't easy. A lot of people make it sound like it's all waiting. I'm praying. No, it's not easy. It takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of faith. And it takes a lot of like actively seeking God in those moments. And like it comes with struggles. There will be time where you question God, where you doubt God. For some people, they lose faith in God and totally during the season. But it's like what matters if you come back to Him, you regain that, you recharge. Whatever it is you're waiting for, like trusting Him, being patient, be still, but actually actively seeking Him and working during that time. Don't just sit and expect it to like land on your lap. It may happen for you. It hasn't happened for me. So for me, it looks my waiting look my everyone waiting for I feel like looks different compared to somebody else. My waiting looks different. What I'm waiting for is maybe different compared to what you're waiting for, how you're waiting. Some people are like going to war while they're waiting, they're praying intensively, or some people are like sitting and doing their daily life, also seeking God. But like everyone waits differently. Some in this Bible plan, which I think everyone should go like do. It's like 7 days. It's pretty short. Um, it's on the Bible app. You see each of these people, their waiting looks different. This woman never lost faith in God, but her husband's did. This woman was waiting for a relationship. Eventually, she got into that relationship, but like during that period, she was questioning God, like, didn't he think it will happen? And I feel like that looks the same for everyone, like for certain people. And the plan actually has been helping me. I write down the misconceptions. I write down the little passage thing to say, and I also write a reflection of how that applies to me. And I've loved it. So if you're in your waiting season, just I I say check it out. It's called Wait and See. Finding peace in God's pauses and plans, because in our waiting, I think that's God's pause. Like for us to be intentional and do things and still seek Him. I feel like He's trusting us with so many things during the waiting period to see if we can handle the blessing He has or the trials and things like that. So if you're in your waiting season currently, it gets better. I'm believing that because I'm still in my waiting season. I say it gets better. There's trials, there's tribulations, you'll go through so much. You will be stretched in this waiting season because I feel like God's stretching us to see if we can handle the blessing He has for us. So it's hard. There'll be tears. There'll be some anger sometimes, frustration, but just as cliche as it sound, just give it to God. That's all I can say. Take it to Him. He'll help. He's always there. When you feel like you can't like reach, like talk to anyone else. What I've done is like just talk to God, like out loud. As much as I've loved journaling, I've loved talking out loud to God, like hearing how it sounds. Sometimes I have to check myself, like, but then it's like I like hearing, like hearing myself talk. That sounds so weird because I talk a lot anyway, but I like to like just talk sometimes, just to hear what I'm saying, see if it makes sense sometimes. Because sometimes when I journal, as great as it is, it keeps me center. Sometimes I need to hear what I'm saying out loud and try to, and also it helps me try to believe what I'm saying and what I'm asking God for. So that's what I do. My waiting. My waiting's different. I'm still waiting. I'll let you know when He answers all those things I'm waiting for. So God promised me a lot of things, and I'm just waiting to see. Not waiting to see it will come true. No, waiting for it to come true. That's what I have to tell. Waiting for it to come true. And I don't know how long that's gonna be. So just gotta wait, be patient, and trust. It's pretty much what I have to tell you guys. This episode a little different. Like I said, I don't know if I made any sense, but God wanted me to talk about it. So hopefully it helps someone out there who is waiting and waiting for their blessings or whatever that may be, or healing in any aspect. So yeah, I hope this guide helps you guys. If you have any questions, DM me, message me, talk to me in person. I'm still going through it. I'm still learning. So whatever I can give to help, I'm here. But yeah, hope this episode blessed you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next episode, which I'm actually really excited for. I want to have someone special in here. Yeah. So thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, share. Did the whole spiel. I'm on every podcast listening on YouTube, all of that good stuff. Also, so shout out to my producer, Vanessa. Follow her on Instagram, Vanessa Films. On Instagram. I keep wanting to say .com. It is not .com. I don't know why I'm so used to .com. It's just vanessafilms.com. She's great. She edits, records, take pictures. She's amazing. Check her out. Also, any young people out there, my church, Hope Worship Center, young adults meets every Monday at 6:45 here at 5 Airmont Lane, Aberdeen, New Jersey. So for all young people out there, if you guys want to come, young adults, I should say, any young adults out there, come join. It's pretty amazing. I love it. I have the best leaders. If you were listening last week, you heard their testimony, and that was just two of my leaders. We have three, so um, just imagine what else they can tell you on Mondays. So that teaching is pretty great. So I'll see you guys you guys will hear me next episode. Thank you for listening to Val's Corner. Have a great day, guys.